empowerment. Now, the definition of empowerment is just get it done. With fewer resources and less time, I empower you, make it happen. No, I'm talking about feeling empowered. That's different. Now, feeling empowered means being self-motivated. But how do you know if a person or if your child, if your student, your worker feels empowered? Just ask them 3 questions. And if they say yes to those 3 questions, they will feel empowered. And by the way, this is not based in common sense, this is based on research, but it'll feel like common sense as we've all been there. Question number 1, can you do it? Albert Bandura calls this self-efficacy. Do you believe you can do it? Do you have the time, the knowledge, and the training to do what we're asking you to do? If yes, good. Move on to the question number 2. Will it work? Albert Bandura calls this response efficacy. The belief that the behavior will lead to the ultimate outcome. Now, to do all these that I just mentioned, you need education, right? So we might show them some data, we might show you some theory, and we teach you why this might work. I just used the word education. Earlier, I used the word training. Is there a difference? There might be a difference. So in elementary school, we use education. In middle school, education, high school, education, and college, higher education. But when you go to the industry, how do you call it? Training. So there is a difference. Training means you do the behavior and you get the feedback. I realize that everything that people kind of quote, the philosophers and psychologists, everyone find themselves in them. Question number 3, is it worth it? We've had a training question, we've had an educational question, and now this is the motivational question. Is it worth it? Do you believe the consequences? This is all about consequences. Now, Frederick Skinner taught us that, the selection by consequences, and he quoted, "From the day you were born, everything you did was because you wanted something from doing it." Consequences. Is it worth it? So, by this I mean that we have to convince people that it's worth it. Now, if you answer yes to those 3 questions, you will feel competent. Am I right? You feel competent while doing worthwhile work. And when you feel competent while doing worthwhile work, you will feel self-motivated. Here's the case. How do we get people to feel competent? First, you give them feedback, you give them recognition, and they feel competent. I realize that I am controlled by consequences. When I'm working for a pleasant consequence, I feel good. It feels like I'm working to get something. But when I work to avoid a consequence, I feel controlled. And that is a negative reinforcement. A teacher once entered a class with 600 students, and he asked, "How many of you are here today to avoid failure?" And 80% of the class raised their hand. And he said, "Oh, okay, you're motivated, but you're not happy students." And you probably told your friend today, I gotta go to class, it's a requirement. Not, I get to go to class, it's an opportunity. And you probably woke up to an alarm clock today, not an opportunity clock. It's all in how you see it. But we should do more to make people to get to be someone who is a success seeker rather than a failure avoider. We should always work together. Like, we should have each other's back. We should accept, the feedback. We should accept the, oh my God. Okay, we should accept the feedback, and it's kind of humiliating for some people, but you should get used to it, because you can grow more and more. We should have each other's back. Thank you.